How's it going, Lone Riders? Let's look at the 1300 GS. New Mule spy photos dropped last week, and they offer a great insight into the new features of the bike and what they are, or what you should expect to see when they officially launch it later this year. So I've done a few videos on this, so I'm not going to dwell on things like the new frame and the muffler and all this kind of stuff. We're going to look at some of the new aspects that we have found with these new photos. So stay tuned and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Normally we make videos about how we develop our products and manufacture them and design them. Also get feedback from you guys about how to or what you want in the product. So if you want to have your say in the development of these adventure motorcycle products, hit that subscribe button, bell icon as well. While you're down there, leave us a comment. Tell us what you think of the new bike, and also what we should do to it, what parts we should make for it, what do you want, and we listen to you. We read the comments and we implement those ideas into the products. So let's jump into the computer and check it out. So these are the series of images, spy shots of the Mule that came out over the last 2 years. So exactly 2 years ago, 2021, the first shots came out of the GS 1300. Didn't even know if it was a 1300 yet. And then there was a series of new images and videos, spy shots taken when BMW were actually testing the bike out in the field. And it's also confirmed that there is an R1300, definitely because BMW have been applying for regulations, and they're using that name and term. So this is the new photos of the bike. I will leave a slideshow at the end of the video of all the new photos, because I just want to cover the details today and have a look at some of the new features that we found or that could be coming up shortly when they launch the product this year. So first thing, as we're developing our own lights, I'm interested to see their lighting setup. It's the DRL, which is called a day running light. This is up the top here. This will be running full time. And then we've got the spot drive and high beam light, or high beam light. And that's in the center. So it's centered in the existing GS series. It's either left or right, depending on which country you're driving. But it's either on the left or right. Here it looks like the high beam is centered. And then we've got the day running light. It's still obscured. At the top here, maybe it comes down and we like an X shape or something like this, but it's going to be definitely distinctful. They've definitely covered up for, it's a very unique part of the design, so they want to keep that secret, definitely. So they'll put some rubber kind of cover over here for now. Aux lights is probably going to be a package as an extra. And I've noticed on those two photos, or a few photos of the two bikes and new spy photos, that one has an LED indicator on the handguard and the other one doesn't. The other one just has a relief on the top there. So there's two different types of handguards. So we'll come to that a little bit later. Another interesting thing is a few years back they showed you, if you don't remember, I'll leave a link in the description, of a bike that was drove itself basically. And these BMW are obviously implementing some of these features into their bikes. You see here we have lane assist and blind spot assist. And in the mirror you have this triangle, and when there's a car behind you in your blind spot, that'll light up orange, normally orange in your vision, so you know there's actually a car behind you, so you don't change lanes. Very cool feature. You can buy aftermarket products like that currently, and it is on their other bikes, so they can introduce this. But going back to the automated, the self-driving motorcycle here, maybe they have lane assist, and that means that they'll have to start controlling the steering as well. If you drive a car, a lot of cars have it now as standard, even the basic cars. If you're driving along and you just veer off the road a little bit, the car will self-correct. So maybe this is one more step in that development in that series. If you look closely, the front, that's the front panel, that's the sonar radar at the front, and then also at the back, and you have here at the bottom is I think that is connected, I'm just guessing, definitely guessing here, but that's connected to the unit on the side, and that's an independent sensor that is tracking if the data that it's picking up is correct. But I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of that. Another interesting thing is this handguard here. So you've got two different types on both bikes. One, this is the grey, this is all clear, we don't know yet, and People are speculating that it's actually just like an indicator light left and right, or it could be a metal over molded metal part. I don't think it's going to be metal because the part is actually strong enough as it is right now, and you can see, and generally it breaks the back here as well, these parts, and they're reasonably strong. So I'm not sure that it is actually a metal part, and you wouldn't kind of mold it like this anyway. Technically quite difficult to do it like this way, so I think it's a light, and they've just unplugged it for the Mule, so it doesn't get exposed. The concept doesn't get exposed yet. The luggage system, so at the moment they have a series called the Vario system. It's just plug and play. We also do Rackless MotoBags as well, which is plug and play on the GS. And you can notice here that they are much, much bigger. There's a lot of people going to be happy about having that extra space. And if you look, I know the left and rights, and the muffler's lower down. The muffler's lower, so they have more space up here to add, which is great. If you like touring, so it's targeting touring, I presume, more. And if you look at the difference here, these lines here are essentially to reinforce the plastic part to make it stronger, ribs. And on this side, they are visible, this side they're not, so I presume that these may be expandable, so you can expand the volume as well. Okay, what are these two hooks here? There's two hooks on the outside here, and there's another hook here, I think, or down here. What are they for? What do you think they're for? I have no idea. They may be clip-on. It's strange to have some kind of open hooks on the outside like this to catch on everything. But let me know what they think. Maybe some clip-on luggage, extra luggage, or some other system. Let me know in the comments below what you think they are. I have no idea. But that's the top box. You can see this in another video or another spy shot. That's the top box, and on the bottom here you see that they are still using the passenger foot peg as a fixing point, and then on top as well. So the concept hasn't changed. It's still a 3-point connection point, but we'd presume that they've changed up a bit of the actual connection points. I highly doubt that you can use your Vario system that you have now on the new 1300. Foot pegs are also new. I'm not sure exactly what is new here. That looks possibly adjustable. So it's a solid cast, and they've got a rubber insert here. This teeth profile is really good. I really like it. It doesn't chew up your boots, and it's super strong. I'm glad that they kept that. But normally on the standard GS model, the foot pegs are much more simpler. So they are upgrading this, much bigger as well. Much bigger platform, and they've got this kind of insert, plug and play insert that clips in there. So it'll be interesting to see how they actually achieve this. I'd say that they've overmolded steel inside that, and you screw them on. So it's not as practical as our MotoPegs, but they're probably going for ours. Don't come out, but yeah, it's just the way they do it in the industry. They've done it for a long time, so they probably want to go for the sure way. So new foot pegs, cool, interesting. This is going to be a unpopular opinion, my opinion here, but I really like the crash bar. The crash bar has a bad rap from the BMW community, but it is actually one of the best thought out systems. On the new one, you've got a 3-point attachment point system again, and from the front view, it's pretty protective. It protects the whole cylinder head, and then it's got this nice gap between the back fixing point and the two front fixing points. And this long bar. What's good about that is that it flexes and it takes out the impact from the frame. This is important. This is very important. What do you want to break? Do you want to break this bar, or maybe a cylinder head, or do you want to break your frame and bend your frame out and throw away the bike? Basically, skip the bike. So if you crash at speed, so you're going at 30 k's, 40 k's more, slide crash, this corner here is going to hit first, and that's going to sweep and clean everything out of the way if you're on gravel as well, and then that's going to take the majority of the impact, and that's reinforced with 2 bars, 25mm. I don't know how big this material is they've chosen here. And then if you do get to the back end, if your bike is actually sliding frontways or any other way, this back part here will take most of the impact as well. It'll flex, which is great. They've also introduced a plate here which protects the bottom of the cylinder head. So you can buy lots of aftermarket products for that. And generally you can see here that they've put bolts there, 4 bolts, and often that causes more problems. What happens is they drop the bike and then the actual bolt goes through the cylinder head. So I'm not sure how they've solved this. It's a pretty tricky one. Let's hope that they've done this properly. It's quite thick as well. It's a nice thick piece. Even if it looks like it's steel, it should be steel. But it looks like they've done quite a good job here. And also you could probably take out off the cylinder head to service the valves and do all the servicing on the heads without removing the bar either. Okay, the front of the bike. So I've heard a few comments. People think the front is disastrous. You can see here this black line here. I don't think it's the final. You can see it's roughly cut around. So they are still hiding things here or doing things. We don't know if that's the final design. The one is it's going to have electrical. It looks like it's got electrical windscreen to move it up and down. They've got a lot of airflow coming in from lots of different sides, and but still a lot of protection. Number 3, this is good because if you've ever driven top speed with a GS, which is 220, what you'll find, what happened with me anyway, is I had my windscreen up, I forgot to put it down, and my helmet was actually raising up. The negative pressure in the cockpit was choking me when I was driving, which was kind of unpleasant, especially at those speeds. So they're really breaking that down in the cockpit to make it more comfortable at speed probably. But then there's a lot of protection around the side here as well for the body. If you're driving in the northern hemisphere, it gets pretty chilly out there. At the back here, it looks like a 4-point connection point for the top box, which is pretty easy, pretty basic. 4 bolts, very nice. We're doing a top box as well, so that'd be nice to adapt, nice and easy to adapt to that. Number 4, I looked at the logo. It was kind of high up. It's like this. Strange. You'd want to. I expect them to want the logo kind of more vertical, so it's more visible. But they've patched it out here. Just an observation. Maybe a aftermarket product because the GPS doesn't work yet with this system. But if you see, this guy's got his iPhone clipped into a phone holder, and it's clipped into the original 1250 and 1200 mount, GPS mount. On the other bike, I couldn't really make it out what was in there. It looked like a GPS unit, but it had some kind of frame around it. I couldn't really tell. But maybe this is a new feature as well. Maybe they want to walk away from the Garmin products they've been using and use the user phone, which I find interesting if they're going to do that, because most phones are waterproof these days for a start. BMW, I have the BMW GPS system. It's quite nice to just jump on and go and have the phone in your pocket. It's the maps are reasonably updated in most of the northern hemisphere, or the Europe, especially America and all those countries. Most of the countries, they're pretty updated maps, except for some parts of Africa. But yeah, that was another observation. We don't know what's going to go up here. So that's a quick video. I'm going to show you slides after this and sign off. But it's a pretty impressive little looking bike. It looks like they are really almost done with it, developing it, doing some final tests, and are ready to launch pretty soon. Interesting the colors that they'll choose. Definitely this black, total black, triple black style, but also probably a nod to 100 years ago when they actually started manufacturing motorcycles. So look out for that color range as well. But yeah, that was it for this week. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about the new bike and the products that we should make for it, and any suggestions or any insights that you might have. Let us know in the comments below. Take it easy. Catch you soon.